Hello everybody! Flash Notion back for another reaction to My Hero Academia! And yeah, my head's a little bit out of it. I've been thinking about some other alternative stories. But I'll try to get back into it here. Okay, so actually, you know what? I did have somewhere saved up. Where did I put that? No. In the files. Was it here? Yes. Alright. All the ongoing plots that we have here. Okay. Yes. Right. So we have the stuff with the League of Villains and Hawks infiltrating them. We have the stuff with the Todorokis and Dabi. We have Eri and Mirio. Aizawa's backstory, Izuku's new quirks, All for One being in prison, as well as Kurogiri being captured, Gigantomachia, something possibly going on with the support company, Uraraka's crush on Deku, the Metal Liberation thing. Okay, so yeah, good refresher course. We we left off with they completed the little versus matches training stuff, and Deku's team managed to win. Mainly thanks to Uraraka, really. She was kind of MVP there. So yeah, that was pretty good. They managed to incapacitate all 5 opponents and get them in prison. Shinzo's going to be joining the hero course next time around. And I think that's really all that there was to the last set. Not sure where we go next for episodes 13 and 14 here. I'm expecting a new intro for at least one of these episodes. But maybe not. I don't know. It depends on if they're doing like last season. Last season, the first half of the season went all the way to episode 14. So, who knows? But I feel like we've seen just about everything in that intro, so maybe not? I don't know. Again, I feel like... oh, right, I almost forgot. Yeah, Bakugo and Todoroki finished up their class and got their provisional licenses. So, we finished on them stopping a bad guy. Who had the support item, and that's why I figured that was going to be a major thing moving forward. Is that company giving support items to the villains? So I'm kind of hoping that is what we're following up on right now. We just get a couple episodes of that as an arc, but yeah, won't know until I watch it. So let's prepare to switch over and get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to YouTube now. Right, so episode 1 was just okay. The thing at the start there with Shigaraki, because that was definitely him, basically looked like he blew up a city, and I have no idea what actually was going on there. And they didn't follow up on it really at all, other than to say that the government is using it to justify restarting the work studies. So it's a little bit weird. I know there's a villain arc coming up, but like I don't know if that's going to expand on that in any kind of way. I kind of hope so. And then after that, really was just a short class bit, showing how most of them are okay, but our main people, Shoto, Deku, and Bakugo, they're not doing so hot at talking to the media. Shoto is too emotionless. Bakugo is too confrontational and hostile, and Deku is just completely a nervous wreck who seems to go back and forth between being so fucking stiff and then becoming just like over talkative. So yeah, getting them all to loosen up and be able to actually just talk normally with the media is definitely going to be a thing that has to be done. And then the second half of the episode was just absolutely adorable, holiday stuff. And yeah, no, I I love it. I love it. I love the idea of Eri being a hero someday and just having a giant sword that she swings around. And yeah, no. Has anybody drawn like pictures of what Eri might look like as an adult? And I don't mean like that kind of picture. I mean like, just a hero identity for her, basically. Because I'm kind of picturing like a bit more, not necessarily stout, but like I feel like she's definitely going to train. She's going to get strong, and I don't picture her growing very tall. I don't remember how old she is at this point, but like, yeah, I figure she's probably going to be maybe Jiro's height, because Jiro's relatively short, so maybe that height. But yeah, I picture her having the giant ass sword that she carries around, and maybe. How cool would it be if her horn just got like real fucking long? Like, so far we've only seen it be like a couple inches. How cool would it be if it got to be like fucking a foot long? Like, A, make a good weapon in an emergency. B, it would mean she has an enormous stockpile of, power for her quirk use. Also, I feel like her hero name would be like Unicorn or something like that. Unicornica or something. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much all I took away from the second half of that episode. I mean, it was cute. It was fun. I feel like it probably did come out originally around holiday time. I don't know, but yeah. And then, oh jeez, that's not good. But the second episode, we got a new intro, and the new intro is pretty good. Not my favorite intro. I still think my favorite intro is the one from the second half of season 3. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I really liked. Or was it the one from the second half of season 2? I can't remember anymore. I'd have to actually go back and watch the episodes, watch an episode from each of those to figure it out. But I'm pretty sure it was the one from the second half of season 3 that was my favorite, music-wise. But this one was pretty good. Very odd that it has so much English in it, but hey, I don't know. I don't listen to much Japanese music outside of anime, so yeah. But no, I think it had a good sound to it. Very kick-ass, and the intro did show off a lot of people, some new characters that I think are probably having to do with this meta Liberation Army thing. Which, yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. It basically seems like they're trying to turn it into like an anarchist state where the government and hero organizations like don't exist, and everybody is free to use their quirks however they want. Which, I mean, it's not that different from what the villains are trying to do, but it kind of is a little bit. I feel like I don't think their goals necessarily align exactly. But yeah, I feel like they're the more well-intentioned extremist side of what, like their methods and their end goals are kind of similar, but on the side of the villains, what they want people to do is they want people to be free to use their quirks to like murder, steal, do whatever like that. Whereas on the Liberation Army side, they want people to be able to use their quirks to defend themselves, basically, or just freely use them in everyday life without needing to have a hero license. Because as we've seen, that's kind of an issue. The only place where people are free to do that we've seen is on Island. So, yeah, on the one hand, that sounds great. On the other hand, there's a reason why those laws are in place. And at the end of the day, I do think that if the Liberation Army got what they would want, the society would end up more like what Shigaraki wants in the end. And that would be terrible. So in that case, I can see it actually being like Shigaraki teams up with them, and then afterwards is just like, be careful what you wish for. If they succeed. But yeah, okay, so Hawks is both trying to spy on the Liberation Army and on the League of Villains, it seems. Which is crazy that he's trying to do both at once. Or, I don't know. Because, like, we've seen him be in contact with Dabi, trying to get into the League of Villains. And then we see him warn Endeavor about the Liberation Army. But why would he do that if he's a part of them instead of a double agent? But then there's also the question of why the hell his agency would think it's a good idea for him to be a double agent inside of two different organizations at the same fucking time. And there's also the question of what the fuck did he do to Best Jeanist? Because that... I still don't know. I don't want Jeanist to be gone. I like Jeanist. Jeanist was cool. He tried to teach Bakugo humility. And his power is actually really fucking awesome. So, like... Yeah, I really hope he did not kill Best Jeanist. That would be fucked. And also, yeah, it does seem weird to think that Hawks would not want to join the Meta Liberation Army if their goals do align in some ways with what he was trying to say. I don't know. The whole situation with that is a little bit up in the air at the moment, and I kind of wish it wasn't so up in the air. Because it's not even really like a mystery, it's just I don't understand what the fuck is actually going on. Feels like we're trying to pull the story in too many directions at once. When there are still unresolved threats. So in that regard, actually, now that I think about it, if I open up the... was it on that? I think it was in this. Yeah. If I open up that file again of the different plots. So instead of having the League of Villains, okay, so instead we have Hawks infiltrating places is actually like a main heading, while the subheadings of that are the League and the Meta Liberation Army. Like, those aren't all that separate. They're both connected by Hawks. So, right now, okay, so we don't really have anything going on with the rookies. Eri, Mirio, no. Nothing new for Aizawa. Nothing really new on the Black Whip training thing. Although, we now also have Deku interning with Endeavor, which is kind of a weird thing, because it means that like his quirk stuff that's not, why is it not working? Oh, there we go. Nope, that's not what I want. I don't know. Program's working weird. Okay. Sure. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, okay, never mind. It's because... Okay, never mind. I opened it in the wrong... program, that's why. Never mind. Regardless, yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff going on. Some of it's connected, some of it seems to be like coincidentally going in the same direction, and it's all very, very weird, and we didn't get really any of the follow-up that I wanted. I'm not sure. I still don't like Endeavor. I don't. He's just... He hasn't... He has not appealed himself to me personally as a character in that regard. Like, I get what they're trying to do, and it is interesting, but it's not enjoyable to me. So, yeah. Really not sure how I feel about this, and the fact that Deku knows just how terrible Todoroki's home life was, at least in part. I really don't see how he can, treat Endeavor with that kind of respect at this point. That's just gonna be a little bit of a sticking point for me. And yeah, I don't see why they had to muddle everything up so much. Was it like this in the manga? It probably was, but like, I also don't understand why everybody is so hung up on making sure adaptations always get things exactly right. Like, when you're adapting a manga into an anime, you should feel free to correct anything in the manga that didn't actually work. And they do that sometimes in the smaller ways, but oftentimes in the bigger ways, they don't. And I don't like that. Like, you never see them when they're adapting like comic books into movies. You never see them actually try and keep all the problem elements of the comics. They always try to adapt out the more problematic elements and make it's a not just a pragmatic adaptation, but one that is more appealing in general. And it doesn't always work. Sometimes they miss the point of what the original was trying to do, but like, the point is that they try, and sometimes I don't feel like anime adaptations try. Sometimes I feel like they're too much of a one-to-one adaptation that they don't actually make it work. I don't know. I just feel like, I just feel like this whole arc is too cluttered at the moment. But it is, and it's just beginning is the other thing. Like, it is just beginning, and it already feels too cluttered. Which isn't something I think I can say about any other arc of My Hero so far. Like, looking back on what arcs we've had, I don't feel like there's anything like wow. Okay, sure, people. Why not? But like, going back to like their internship arc there, I understood pretty well that, the entire point of that, aside from Deku getting control over his powers, was also just, it was converging around Stain. We actually introduced Stain before we actually got to the part where we were going to confront him. So I really feel like that part worked out very well. It was always like, here's where we're going, and here, all of this other stuff is a path to get there. And then, like, I don't know. I just haven't, like, a lot of the other arcs have felt very simple. Like the most complex arc, I think, before this that actually really worked was the first half of season 3. Because we had the training camp, and then we had rescuing Bakugo, and then we had, fighting All for One. And it was, like, we didn't have an end goal there, and the setup of how the arc was going changed quite a bit, but it was always very easy to follow. And, like, since then, all the other arcs that we've had besides that, like, they've all been relatively straightforward and simple. Like, I'm not going to bother with season 1, but, like, we've had our tournament arc, we've had our provisional license arc, getting those. We had, the rescue Eri arc, and then we had a couple of shorter arcs for the end of season 4 that were all pretty good, pretty interesting. With I guess the gentle criminal stuff was a little bit, like, I wouldn't say confusing. It was just two things happening at the same time, side by side, and they each had their own separate conclusion that was satisfying for both of them. Because we had Gentle Criminal and the festival happening at the same time. But even then, it kind of worked because they intersected at the point of, like, Gentle is going to not attack, but infiltrate the festival, and that would cause the festival to be shut down, and Deku needs to stop him so that way the festival can go forward in order just to spiritually save Eri. We physically saved her, we need to spiritually save her. And yeah, that was the intersection point, and that worked out really well. And then, we had the Endeavor Nomu fight at the end of season 4, which introduced Hawks. But it was the start of season 5 here where things kind of started to go awry because we just have all of these things ongoing at the same time. And now, and for a while it was all put on the back burner because we were just focusing on the fights between the classes, between Class A and Class B. But now that that's over with, suddenly we have all of this stuff that has been in the background, and now it's in the foreground at the same time, and it's just like, bam! I don't know. Maybe it'll make more sense next time I watch, but, like, for right now, it feels a little confusing, a little overwhelming, and a little bit like they cluttered this up too much. And if things had been more focused, then it would have been a bit more enjoyable. But regardless, still fun. I'm still loving the show. I know some people who fell away from liking it in these later seasons, but I'm still very much liking it. I'm still very invested in the characters and the world and seeing where things go. So, yeah. I guess that's gonna be it for this time. So, until next time, bye!